Alright guys, let's take a look at the leaked military archives. They're claiming that there's a tank so advanced that it's basically science fiction. It has energy reactive armor that can turn away 70mm cannons, missiles, Hellfire, RPGs, and they bounce back the explosion. We're talking about something called the Iron Leviathan. This is crazy. We don't know if it's true or not. Let's dive into this rabbit hole. So first off, the archives indicate that this project goes back to the mid-1980s. But we don't have much more than that. So the question is, why does the United States need a tank with this kind of technology? What do we have now? Right now, we have the M1A2 Abrams and some prototypes that are being developed, like the Mobile Protected Firepower System, but those aren't really able to handle some of the threats that we're facing today. I'm thinking about things like RPGs and top attack munitions that are designed to go over the armor and detonate downward where the armor is thinnest. So here's what we do know about the Iron Leviathan. The energy reactive armor was not only heavily armored, but it was next level. And how it works is when an RPG or an anti-tank round or an explosive is fired at it, it actually gets absorbed by this outer shell, and then it's redistributed around the tank and then released harmlessly away from the vehicle. It turns the ordnance sideways or upward. We also have reports that claim that it can seal hull breaches within 5 minutes using nanometal composites. That's absolutely crazy. So if it's so good, why isn't it being used? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What I find interesting about all of this is that it was never canceled officially. There were no congressional hearings. There was no press release stating that it was canceled due to budget constraints or because it was unneeded. And this is unlike other projects like the F-12, where they worked on that for years and years, and then they decided to cancel it because of cost overruns. This one just disappeared. And if you look at the documents, it's the last page that we have from the Iron Leviathan is dated June 1987. And then all of a sudden we jump to 2004 and we see references to it in different documents, but nothing after that. It's like a massive gap in time and space. And it's almost like the people involved in this project just wanted us to forget that it ever happened. And honestly, if I were them, I probably would, too. But let's take a minute and think about what this means if it actually exists. Right now, our tanks are sitting ducks. They're moving targets that can be picked off one by one. But this thing, it's like Terminator 2, Judgment Day. You know, in that movie, the T2 was the ultimate killing machine. It was unstoppable, but in the end, it turned out to be a good guy. Well, the Iron Leviathan is kind of like that. It's the good guy that can fight off the bad guys. The problem is, it's hard to believe that something like this could actually exist. I mean, we've seen some pretty amazing things come out of Area 51, but this is just next level. However, there have been some really credible sources that have come forward with information about this tank. One of them was a former high-ranking official who said he saw the prototype during a classified site visit. He described it as being heavily guarded and heavily redacted in the documents. It was like they didn't want him to see it or write anything about it. He said the tank looked straight out of a science fiction movie, and he was shocked that nobody knew about it. Now, another source came forward and said that he worked on the project as an engineer. He said that the Iron Leviathan was more than just a tank. It was a weapon of war. He had the ability to detect incoming attacks and automatically activate its defenses. He said that he saw it happen during a test, and it was incredible. He also said that the tank could heal itself from damage, and it did not matter what type of attack it faced: kinetic weapons, explosives, even biological attacks. He said that the tank could withstand it all. It's hard to say if these stories are true or not, but the fact that they read coming from credible sources makes you wonder if there is something to this. Now, let's talk about the specifications of this thing. What we do know is that it's supposed to be heavily armored and able to withstand attacks from all angles. We also know that it's supposed to be able to detect incoming attacks and automatically activate its defenses. And we know that it's supposed to be able to heal itself from damage. Okay. Now, as far as the size and weight of this thing, we don't have any specifics. Okay. But it's rumored to be around the size and weight of the M1A to Abrams, which is about 70 tons. However, given the advanced technology that's supposedly packed into this thing, it could be much heavier. Now, as far as the firepower, we don't know exactly what type of gun it uses, but it's rumored to be able to fire armor-piercing rounds that can penetrate even the heaviest of armors. It's also rumored to be able to fire at targets up to 3 miles away. Okay, let's talk about the engine. This is where things get really crazy. Supposedly, the Iron Leviathan uses an experimental engine that was developed by General Electric. This engine was supposed to be able to produce over 1,000 horsepower, just 3 times more power than the Abrams engine. But that's not even the crazy part. So the crazy part is that this engine was supposed to run on water. Yeah, water. Imagine a tank that can run on water. It would be a game changer. But unfortunately, the details of this engine are classified, and we don't know much more about it. Now, let's talk about the crew. The Iron Leviathan is rumored to have a crew of 3, a driver, a gunner, and a commander. However, given the advanced technology that's supposedly packed into this thing, it could be possible that it's fully autonomous and doesn't need a crew at all. Alright, so what about the cost? How much would something like this cost? Well, given the advanced technology that's supposedly packed into this thing, it's safe to say that it would be very expensive. But the cost would be well worth it, considering the capabilities of this tank. So let's talk about the weapons that the Iron Leviathan would use. As I mentioned earlier, it's rumored to be able to fire armor-piercing rounds that can penetrate even the heaviest of armors. It's also rumored to be able to fire at targets up to 3 miles away. In addition to its main gun, the Iron Leviathan is also rumored to be equipped with several machine guns and a missile launcher. Alright, so what about the Iron Leviathan's defenses? Okay, well, that's where things get really crazy. Okay, the Iron Leviathan is supposedly equipped with an experimental energy shield that can deflect incoming attacks. Okay, this energy shield is rumored to be able to absorb and redirect energy-based weapons, such as lasers and plasma weapons. In addition to its energy shield, the Iron Leviathan is also equipped with a state-of-the-art armor that can protect it from kinetic weapons and explosives. This armor is rumored to be able to detect incoming attacks and automatically activate its defenses. So what do you think about all of this? Do you think that the Iron Leviathan is real? Or do you think it's just a crazy conspiracy theory? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.